but that's probably for the best because I can't pay attention to chat when I'm an active player.
I don't think chat's saying anything anyway. My fan's not bothering anybody. It's not making any noise.
Nope.
I can't even hear it.
Blue, you'll be pleased to know when I was editing the audio for last week's stream, I edited out your fan completely. You can't hear it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I've turned it off for your convenience this week because it is not so hot. But good to know that it can be done if I'm sweating.
It's about 26 here. I could probably turn mine off soon, but not yet.
How long do your summers usually last?
Too long.
Well, to be fair, this summer didn't start until a month into it.
Yeah, until 3 weeks ago.
It was. Yeah, we had a lot of rain and cold. I had the heater on during summer this year, which was unusual.
At the start of it, it was pretty chilly.
Stupid.
Not chilly for us, at least. Quotation mark.
Lousy Smarch weather.
March. Oh, I hate March.
Thank you to the two people that have followed me in the times between me streaming. Thank you.
Heck yeah.
I don't understand what draws people here when I'm not streaming, but thank you.
See, we have what we call slush season. Everything melts and then everything smells.
I don't think we don't really get that. I mean, I suppose in Queensland and stuff, they probably get wet season where everything is muddy.
Soon season.
Oh yeah, and you have cyclones and shit. I guess. Hurricanes. Terrible. We don't have any of that. We just have very mild earthquakes that people get terrified about down here. We have
but in my defense, I don't know what earthquakes are like.
I mean, I say mild. I make fun of the last earthquake we had, but it did knock buildings down. So I suppose it wasn't mild.
Yeah, and that's all I got in the States was pictures of buildings knocked over. So I freaked out and contacted all of you.
It just felt mild, I guess. I just remember because I was sitting here working, and I'm like, hey, my desk is shaking. And then I went and asked T. I was like, "Hey, did you notice that?" She's like, "Yeah." And then it's just it was actually. I mean, apparently it was 5.8 or something, which is not significant.
Yeah,
so it was
fairly significant, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was. Yeah, I don't know. I'd had them before, and they were just very mild ones, and people always made fun of it because they'd be like, "Oh my god, there was an earthquake," and there'd be pictures of a lawn chair tipped over on its side. But then I remember after I made fun of this one, and then seeing photos of storefronts that collapsed because of it. I was like, "Oh, I guess it was bad." Just didn't feel
because
bad.
Probably because I ran and pinged all of you "Holy shit, are all of you okay?"
Okay, so where were we? Last session, the sheriff had requested that you go and get Javier from the docks where Javier was being kept in a box in a crate. You got him out of the crate, but didn't unstake him when you found out that he'd been staked, and just sort of threw him in the boot, even though he was kind of tall, and you bumped his head and cracked his legs with the lid trying to fit him inside it. Eventually, you did it. On the way to the warehouse where you were asked to drop him off, you were stopped by a bald man and his dog, who asked you to open the boot. And Victoria's response to that was to try to run him over and drive away. And would that be a fair assessment of what happened, Victoria?
The dog went flying.
Yeah, the dog was standing on the front of the car. The bonnet, as we call it here, standing on the front of the car, and Victoria hit the the accelerator, and the dog jumped off, elegantly jumped off over the top of the car and landed on its feet behind the car. So the dog was unharmed, although given what's coming, you may wish the dog had been harmed, but it wasn't, unfortunately. And then when we moved, you went to the warehouse. You met the sheriff and someone who was with the sheriff who you weren't introduced to. He unstaked Javier, who sort of woke up and was immediately like, "Where am I? Who are you? What's going on?" Uh, Archie was very pleasant and introduced himself immediately, and so was Astrid. Victoria seemed when Victoria found out that she'd been put in a coterie, she seemed less than enthusiastic about the idea. But that that's how it goes in vampire society. And then shortly after the sheriff left, the bald man appeared again with his dog named Sweetheart, and he was standing at the opening to the door, opening to the warehouse, the big open roller door, and he pointed at Javier and said, "That's mine." And that's where we left off. So let's start from there. Let's jump in. What do you do? There's a board, like he's kind of emaciated, and he has a bloody red X kind of tattooed on his chest, over his heart, or where his heart might be. But other than that, the only thing he's wearing is like a pair of raggedy, like faded, acid wash kind of jeans. No shoes. His feet are kind of like, the soles of his feet are like jet black. He's kind of like got like a sheen of dirt on him, and you can tell by just looking at him how pale he is that he's not alive. You would assume he is kindred, although whether he would call himself kindred, you guess maybe not, considering how much he's leaning into the vampiric look. Next to him is a Rottweiler with a chain collar. Its eyes have a unnatural red glow to them, and you'd swear it looks like bigger and burlier than a Rottweiler should. Not unnaturally so, but there's clearly some vitae work going on here. Like, it's been fed. It's most likely ghouled. Archie, you would probably know that animals you feed your blood to tend to get a bit stronger, a bit more, a bit bigger. Like Rathew's
I have the strongest rat in all the land.
Like Rathew is a lot stronger and bigger than other rats would be. And
Rathew was a rouse.
This is probably what's happened with this dog too. And the dog is sitting there sort of growling, not moving, but like definitely has its eyes locked just forward, like like a well-trained attack dog might. And what do you want to do? I mean, let's let Javier react first, because he's the one sort of in the scope.
Being pointed at.
Yeah.
So yeah, he kind of looks between the coterie ? And Baldy, and is gonna kind of, yeah, he's already gotten up off the table. That's right. So he's just gonna kind of take a step in a way that kind of puts him in like mediator position, right between this new group of weirdos and the angry man with the dog.
Yep.
And does he seem to make any move when Javier does take a step or two forward?
He does. He tenses up, and he kind of takes like a step forward himself. Like you get the feeling that he's itching to like just tear into you guys. Like he doesn't seem to be. Yeah, he seems out of like kind of out of his mind a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So he kind of he's taking in everything and kind of just goes, it seems like we've got ourselves a sticky situation. And he kind of like lowers the sunglasses a little bit, looks this dude right in the eye and says, "How about we calm down and explain ourselves?" And I'm going to attempt to compel him with dominate.
Okay. All right. So let me. So what are the mechanics of that? Remind me, and I'll.
With eye contact, the vampire can issue the victim a single action command, no longer than a short sentence, to be obeyed to the letter. It must be possible to complete the command in a single turn. The storyteller decides whether to interpret ambiguous commands in an unexpected or unfavorable way. Alternatively, the command simply confuses the victim and fails. No roll is required against an unprepared mortal victim. Commanding a resisting victim, a victim the vampire has previously dominated in the same scene, or another vampire requires a contest of charisma dominate versus intelligence resolve.
Jeez. Okay, so
Commands that go against the victim's nature also require such a contest.
So what's the one-word command you're giving?
Let's see. Is it one word or one sentence?
I thought it was a word.
No, it said one command that I think no longer than a
No
short
longer than a
sentence.
short sentence to be obeyed
so
to the
yeah.
letter.
Okay.
So he said, "How about we calm down and explain ourselves?"
Okay. I'm gonna say
And
it's
you could
I'm gonna
decide
say it's the calm
what
down part, like the
calm down. Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Okay, so give you well he's not a mere mortal, so you'll need to roll the
Yep.
charisma
Charisma dominate.
versus
Okay.
intelligence resolve. I think you said it was.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's see. I hit this button, I think. Discipline and charisma, yes. Attribute, there we go. Alright, so charisma and dominate. Alright, here goes nothing. I imagine no extra dice.
No.
And do you want me to set a difficulty? Well, the difficulty will be opposing, so I'll just leave it blank.
Yeah, so yeah, just however many successes you get, he's got to beat that.
I hit the button. Hello. Are we
Sometimes
okay,
it's a little
Roll20?
slow.
Yeah, take a sec. I think it did when I did one last
Maybe
game.
it's because I deleted it instead of putting a 0 in there, it weirded out. Let's try that again. Because last time, when I was doing the test thingy earlier, it didn't do that.
Unless now it's no, you would know every roll. I was about to say unless now it's deciding to do the whisper rolls.
Well, I'm not saying it, so it's not whispering to me.
Yeah. I'll just set difficulty 1, because that way it'll have something. Yep, that was the problem. Oh,
Okay,
hello.
So you got 3
That's
successes. Okay.
That's 3 successes. So, and no messies. So, I tried.
Oh.
He crit. I tried.
Yeah. So yeah, he like okay. So what happens here? He when you say that, like there's definitely like that strange kind of like deepness to your voice that comes along with employing disciplines, powers of the blood, and his eyes kind of lock on yours, and there's like a glint behind them, and it's an unpleasant, like bestial flitter, and he just whips his chain around to strike you across the face with this length of chain. So what the roll here will be another contested roll.
Okay. I choose to dodge.
Yeah, so I'll roll his attack, and then you've got to beat that roll with athletics.
Okay.
And with
Am I allowed to
dexterity
activate?
athletics.
Am I allowed to? Yeah. Am I allowed to activate fleetness so I can add that to my 1 dexterity athletics check a turn?
Yeah.
Because usually fleetness is for non-combat, but it says once per turn the user may also do this when defending with dex athletics. So can I roll a rouse check for celerity?
Yes, you can.
Oh boy!
It must
Good
be fun
luck.
to... Do you want to do that after I've rolled his attack?
Yeah, sure, because
Yeah.
it's not going to make me frenzy immediately, I imagine.
So also his speciality is with a chain, so he gets +1 dice.
Okay. Let's see here. So
The difficulty is just
athletics.
yeah. I just leave it at 2.
It's contested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And I get 2 extra dice. Oh boy. And
That's 3
the
successes
difficulty
for
is
him.
3.
Yep.
Come on, buddy.
That's a success. I
4.
believe.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Now let me rouse check to see if I gained hunger. I did. I'm at hunger
Oh,
5.
no.
No.
Your not only is your beast sort of like thrashing against the cage that is your like your rib cage, like you can feel it. It's tired of being hungry. It's tired of being insulted by this man who not only refused to bend to your whim, but is now lashing out at you and attacking you. And you'd be furious if you weren't so hungry. I'm gonna say you are on the verge. Like you could be on the verge of a hunger frenzy here if anything else goes wrong. But you're also, I would say, toying around on the precipice of a rage frenzy, because with that coupled with the rising hunger is just, it's just like, salt in the wound. So
Angry.
he swings the chain through the air, and you activate celerity well enough to kind of not even dodge, just more sort of like you move so quickly that you're a blur. And Astrid, you'd see this. This might not be something that you've actually noticed. You've seen another kindred do. You see this man from the box just sort of blur out of the way of that chain flying towards his face. And it's not a small length of chain. It's some thick steel links that would do damage if they struck. And then he's just sort of standing there with the chain dangling in the air. And he's like, for fuck's sake! He's like, sweetheart, get him! And he sort of points, and the dog kind of barks. I don't know. This is a question that I have. Despite all my research into combat in Vampire the Masquerade, I don't think there's much in the way of initiative. You guys can just kind of pick who goes next. So which of you would like to go next?
I think Archie will just go invisible, probably.
Okay, so Archie just vanishes, like, poof. Okay.
Yeah, he goes, ah! And then turns invisible.
Right. Well, that's not a rouse check.
Great.
That's just Archie is gone.
No.
If the dog is growling, I'm growling back at it.
Yeah. You've kind of moved out of his immediate reach, Javier, but the sweetheart is now growling at you. Victoria, would you like to have a shot, see what you can do?
Yeah. Where exactly is that steak that we ripped out of Javier's chest?
It's laying just on the floor near the box. So
Great.
I would say you can run and grab it, but you probably can't employ it or use it this turn.
No. Victoria will run and grab that steak and get behind the box as quickly as she can.
Wait, what box?
So Astrid, you suddenly find yourself deserted. Archie disappears in a flash of shadowy vampiric blood magic, and Victoria sort of trots away behind the box and picks up the steak as she goes. What do you want to do?
Javier's still there.
Well, Javier's still there, but he's like
Javier's
right
still
up.
there.
Yeah,
Javier's still there. This guy clearly is not here to make friends.
that's right.
Javier is
Victoria
my new.
can yell out at Astrid real quick as she's running.
What would you like to? Yeah. What would you like to yell?
Astrid, how strong do you think you are?
I suppose I can find out.
Great, you're gonna hate this. In which case, Victoria will throw the steak for Astrid to catch.
Victoria is managing.
I won't make you roll to catch it. I'll say you're able to catch it. Unless you're on your way to do something else, in which case you might need to...
No, I haven't. I really haven't acted yet, so no, I can catch it. And
Okay.
I think I know enough at this point to know what Victoria wants me to do with it.
And
Considering we
you take a big
bet-
bite out of it.
Yep, just need more
The-
fiber.
The
I
big
did.
cross, the big cross on his chest, Astrid.
X marks the spot. I also did
Um,
say sticky situation, in emphasis on stick.
I will point out the maneuver to stab someone with a stake is not an easy one. It's something that you it's real hard to do.
Hey, when I turn invisible, does Rapview turn invisible too? Or is there a
Yeah,
visible rat? Okay.
I think he turns invisible with you, like he's on.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just a floating rat.
Yeah.
Alright.
So she'll take a look at the steak, take a look at this dude. Because you could try. She's wondering if
Absolutely
she'd
could
be
try.
better off.
So,
She's also just
Sorry, if you want to know about like the mechanics of using a stake, it's a called shot, so there's a -2 penalty to the dice when you attack with it. But because this is a stake designed for like staking kindred, it's not just a chunk of wood. I'm lowering that penalty just to a -1, and you have to inflict 5 points or more of damage to have it work. So like if you score under 5, it doesn't go all the way, so you'd just be injuring him. If you score 5, he would be properly staked. But you don't like that's basically the way of saying it's not so easy as just walking up and jabbing him. It's not quite Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You need to it's stabbing someone through the hard bone plate of their chest.
And how is damage determined?
Damage is the amount of successes you score over his resisting roll. So if you so you need to score like 5 over. But yeah, you need to score 5 over that. But I think the stake doesn't have a plus to damage to it. Actually, no, this one has a +1.
I do actually also have prowess, which would be a rouse check, but it has 2 things to it. Add potence rating to your unarmed damage and to feats of strength, and then also add half your potence rating rounded up to melee damage.
That's right. Yeah. So when you roll it, if you succeed in the hit, then we add the damage that you do with prowess. Okay. Yep.
So I guess since Victoria gave me this thing, I'm gonna go for it.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Our first attack roll is a attempted staking.
Staking is melee, right?
See.
Yeah, that's melee, and I would say strength in this case because it's less trying to be dexterous and more just trying to shove it in there. Especially if you're going to use prowess.
Yeah. So hang on, let me see here. So potence. Okay, lethal body doesn't apply here because he's not wearing any armor. And then prowess, that only really activates if I hit.
I'm gonna say you can check it now because that's what you're putting.
Okay.
You're putting your strength into it now, but it won't.
Right.
Okay, so it's activated, and your hunger didn't increase, so you activated your. You now have prowess for. It should say this whole scene. So you've got this activated for the scene. So this will add on to all your attacks.
So strength plus melee.
That's right. So Astrid basically, upon catching the stake, barrels across the few feet between her and this bald man with the X on his chest, and just tries to plunge the stake right in there.
And there's no extra dice here, right?
No, you have 1.
Yep.
Add 1.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you also have so that's right. Yep.
Okay.
You have a -1 for the
Oh yeah. So it zeroes out.
Shot, so it zeroes out. You're on a 0.
Okay. So I would have to crit this, like all of them, or at least I would have to succeed with all of them to get 5. But he might be injured.
You could still hurt him. Yeah.
So
He will make himself useful afterwards.
I'll just put it at 2, difficulty 2, I guess, because
Yeah.
it needs something in there.
Yeah, that's right.
Whoa.
There we go. Okay,
Hey,
so
hey.
There you go.
that's 3 successes.
Yeah. So that, and then we'll add your damage on top of that if it's
So-
So he's gonna just
Okay.
use strength and athletics to just kind of shove you away from him.
Mhm.
So that's what he's attempting to do right now. He doesn't get any bonuses to it. No, he doesn't get any bonuses to it or penalties. I'll put it in as 2 as well. Yeah. So you don't manage to get the stake on him. Basically, you go to drive the stake into his heart, and he sort of catches your hand that has the stake and forces you back away from him. And he has what seems to be a unhealthy amount of strength as well.
Yeah, dice pool.
Hmm.
That's a scary dice pool.
Well, these are his strong points.
Yeah.
At this point, being the infuriated, ghoulish dog that she is, Sweetheart dives upon Javier, who's sort of backing away and dodging, if I remember correctly. So that's
Yep.
so they're gonna they've got an SPC dice pool, so I'm just gonna roll the amount of dice that they need for an attack, which is a physical one. So I'm just gonna roll that.
All right, and then how are turns determined?
Vibes.
Vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just
pretty
trying
much.
to figure out if I'm because I think this is activated for the rest of the scene. Yeah, duration 1 scene.
So
So
that Sweetheart got a 2 on their trying to bite you. So how would you like to try and so the dog basically launches itself at you from a standing stop, like it pounces, and its jaws are slavering with a reddish foamy drool as it basically lunges at just tries to bite your throat out essentially.
okay. Well, let's see here. If I want to try to dodge, that'll be another pool of 7, I think.
Yeah, that's your
Or
athletics.
yeah, that's
dexterity.
Death Athletics plus Celerity. Or I could turn around and try to stab it with the knife in my boot, which would be Dex Melee.
Yeah, I would say you have a turn coming up. This isn't your turn. This is like your reaction.
Oh, okay, so this is
I'd
just
say
a
you probably
dodge.
don't have time to draw your knife out. But you
Gotcha.
would have time to either fight back with your hands, so you could do damage with your hands, or just outright try to dodge.
Do I want to punch a dog? No.
Coward.
I'm just
It's a
gonna
bad
get out of
dog.
the way. I'm not built for punching. I'm built for stabbing. Okay, so that'll be another Dex Athletics with 2 dice, just to not get bit.
That's right.
Alright, Dex. No, yeah. Dex Athletics. It's 2 extra dice. And it's a difficulty 2. Heck
Ooh.
yeah.
Yeah, you dodge
Whoa.
the hell. I'm gonna say you managed to. Basically, Sweetheart lunges at your throat, and then you're just not there, and Sweetheart goes like skidding across the smooth concrete floor on her belly,
Fight hunger.
and like sort of clambers up to her feet, barking. But he's kind of out and away from the fight for the moment, so may miss out on the next actual turn. And that's when we roll around to
Wait, me or the dog?
the dog.
Okay.
You're still like in the fight near the bald guy, but the dog's kind of been not incapacitated or harmed, but it's kind of rolled off to the side because it put too much commitment into jumping at you, and then you dodge.
Yep.
The bald man with the X on his chest, who I'm trying to call X for now.
Mr. X.
Yeah, having sort of grabbed Astrid's hand with the stake, now tries to put the boot to Astrid to force Astrid back and away. And he kind of growls through his teeth and says, who the fuck are you supposed to be? And he also activates his own blood powers.
Boy,
You knew he had blood powers.
I know.
I'll do a rouse check for him. Yep, success.
No, it succeeded.
And he is going to try and kick you in the chest, Astrid. That's
Rude.
Strength.
Don't get Sparta kicked.
Sorry, meat shield.
So he's also got the same. He's got prowess as well. So if he succeeds here, he'll do the extra prowess damage as well.
So do I get a reaction to this, or
Yeah, you do.
is it just
You can roll a.
Okay.
You can like either choose to try and dodge or like sort of fight back. So if you sort of attack back with your own brawl thing, it's kind of like a it's just like it's just like a parry, just sort of that kind of combat.
Yeah, so I'll probably try to like parry him. So what would that be?
That would just be like a strength and brawl of your own.
Okay.
Basically, you're in a fist fight with him now.
Got Mr.
Right.
Stabby and Miss Punchy.
And Mr. Invisible Archie.
Because technically I haven't done any stabbing. I've just been dodging.
And then because
Cry.
this,
Oh, sorry.
Go.
Um,
Yeah, we'll clear up
I-
Astrid's move and then I'll answer. Yeah.
sorry, I'm just still trying to get it. Do I add my do I add potence to this?
Only if you hit.
Oh, okay, because
yeah.
I wasn't sure I wasn't sure if this was like a feat of strength.
Yeah, if you want to actually increase your sort of your just overall roll, that's another kind of rouse check using a blood surge. But we'll hold off with that for
Okay.
this round because I just think it will be a bit confusing to add in straight away. But basically, that allows you to boost any kind of roll as you sort of use your blood to empower you. But potence prowess is very specifically leans towards. Ooh,
Oh.
well, we're tied, but I'm going to say with a messy critical, you kind of do you succeed. I would say.
I don't think
Yeah.
that's tied. It's just not counting crits correctly. Or
No, the hunger dice was a critical.
yeah, and then there were 3 successes on top of that.
3, 4. Okay.
Because it's a success on the blood die, I believe it's a messy critical.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. No, there's no other 10s. Okay, I'm not seeing things correctly.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to say you sort of do the damage in this one. So that's a 3 damage plus 2 for your prowess. Your potence is 2, isn't it, or 1?
Potence is 2 right now.
Okay. So that's 5 damage you do. It's 5 superficial damage because it's just sort of punching and kicking. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oof. That doesn't go well for him. Well, hang on. I have a question now. I'm sorry to stop the game, but if you're reacting as opposed to acting, do you do the damage when you fight back? That's my question. I would say I would argue yes, just because it makes fights go a bit smoother and a bit quicker.
I always have.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Let's do that. I don't know if that's the rule, but that's going to be our house rule because it just makes the things go along quicker.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Sounds
that-
good to me.
Yeah, that puts I think it's Javier's turn now. Yes.
Or is it Archie's?
Yeah,
No. Oh, it might be Archie's turn. Yeah.
I just had a question.
Yeah.
I'm guessing no, because it's a familiar probably. But would it be possible for me to try and use feral whispers on his dog?
Yeah, but it wouldn't change its mind. It would just like you could talk to it if you wanted to, but
Well, because what I was going,
what do you
yeah, I did want to try and convince it to, not attack people.
Well, it's still an animal, and it's still bonded to him. So this would be like if someone tried to convince Rathu to, like, kill you.
I feel like Raphew could be convinced of that.
Yeah, Now, if you want to summon some other animals,
Oh,
you
that's
can do
true. I can
that.
summon things.
If you want to call for backup,
What could
it
I
doesn't have
call
to be
for?
rats. It can be anything.
That's true. What could I try and summon? What's something that would...
Possums. Fair.
Oh yeah.
I could summon a dog of my own. Yeah, okay.
Just-
Can I try and
just
summon
like
my own dog?
Yeah, I mean,
Summon.
it's reasonable that there would be a dog sort of nearby or around.
Yeah.
Potentially.
I
Fall
think
out.
if you crit, you summon every dog in the area.
I fail and only summon a chihuahua.
Hey, those are the most like aggressive dogs out there.
That's true. Alright, so I might try and do that. Let me read how that works. So, simple communication requires no test. Persuading an animal to form a service, manipulation plus animalism roll. The difficulty depends on the task required. And summoning animals uses charisma plus animalism roll. Difficulty depends on the scarcity of animals summoned. The number of animals summoned depend on the margin of the test. A critical win summons most, if not all, animals of the type in the area.
Okay, so
I
you're
could
summoning
just...
dogs. You're trying to summon dogs?
Yeah,
So
I
if
mean, I
you-
could summon rats and just have an army of rats.
Well, it's up to you, but it's a charisma animalism check, and I would say if it's rats, you probably could do that at difficulty 2. Dogs might be a difficulty 3 because it's like a dock area and it's not likely to be. It's like there could be dogs around, but it's not as. You're a bit more likely to find rats here.
Yeah, alright, I'll try and
Isn't
summon
your-
a fuck ton of rats.
Isn't your animal kin specialty rats?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so
You get an
added
extra
dice.
die.
Yeah.
Cool. Alright, so I'll try and summon a bunch of rats. So animalism... Oops. Is that not how...
No, it's animal
Okay.
kin plus charisma you roll. You don't need to roll the
Yeah.
animalism. So you just so you just roll that, and then we'll do a rouse check afterwards.
Alright, so I just roll animal can then, and...
Yep. With
cool.
with your
Oh, yeah,
charisma,
I found it.
and then add +1 for the
Yep, and difficulty 2, you said?
Yeah, because that's just there's rats everywhere around here.
Heck
Oh.
yeah!
Yeah.
Succeed. So yeah, do a rouse check for me because you've spent
Yep.
blood to do that. You succeed.
Yeah.
Succeeded!
So you kind of reach out through the power of your blood, sort of making perhaps sounds and stench on a wavelength that is not immediately detectable to your kindred associates. And there's like an unsettling like scratching and skittering that sort of just seems to come through through the walls and the ceiling and under the floor, like all around you. Victoria, like a little group of rats, like crawl over your feet where you're like hiding behind the box. Astrid and the man are probably too busy fighting to really notice straight away. But Javier, you notice them kind of, and the floor has become in places like almost like it's moving and writhing of its own accord, like little holes in the wooden floorboards, and places where it's like wooden metal instead of concrete. They kind of pour up through it, and the rats are just sort of scurrying about. They're here. They're moving around. They haven't quite been given a command just yet.
Yeah, I imagine I have to do that on my next turn.
Yeah,
but you hear Archie, even though
yeah.
I'm invisible, you hear Archie's like giggling like a maniac.
There's just this disembodied giggling.
Yeah.
I think we're at Javier now.
Okay,
Yeah.
now it's time to stab.
It's
I
stabbing.
am angry and I want to stab things.
That's fair.
Okay, so yeah, since you did say I had everything that I had on me when I went in the box, and I imagine I didn't have to go through customs.
No one looted you. Yeah.
No one looted me, so I'm gonna grab my knife from my boot, which is a switchblade. And, it's been a while, so I don't remember exactly what things do what, but would this be a dex melee?
Yeah.
Okay, and then, I guess the damage of the knife is something or other, I don't remember.
He's already spent his dice pool entirely attacking, so he can't really do anything but cop what you give him at this moment.
Cool. All right, so it's stabby time. I do not have any extra dice, and I'm just gonna put difficulty 2. Oh dang! Why does that say 0? It's a messy critical.
That's
But why
weird.
does it say 0 successes? This is what I meant. I think something's
I believe when you're at 5 hunger, you only use hunger dice
Oh,
Yeah.
because you don't have any like spare dice that aren't hunger.
Do they count as successes?
Yeah, they count as successes, but you're
Okay.
more likely to. You can only get like messy or bestial successes
Yeah, so
or
how much
failures.
is a messy critical? How many successes is that? Because
Oh,
it's
no,
not
you-
2, it's more than that, right?
No, but okay, so if you had regular dice, you could count it as like a regular success, but because you only have blood dice to use, it'll only be a messy critical or a messy failure.
Okay. So I'm trying to calculate what the damage is here. Is it 2? Is it 2?
Yeah, because that's what I was trying to figure out is when you have, because those are both 10s, how many successes does 2 10s count as again? Because I can't remember.
I mean, 10's the best you got. So
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because it's like if you had 2 10s, it counted as like an extra one or something. I can't remember.
That's okay. I've got a something that happens here.
Either way,
As you plant, this is a messy critical. So you're furious and hungry, and you plant the knife right in his throat, in the carotid artery, and like thick, like blackish ichor begins to pool through the wound, and doesn't really spray out like when you would if you'd done the injury to a human. It just sort of coagulates like in globs out over the skin of his neck and on his shoulder, and you are all at once abuzz with the desire to feed, and he immediately, sort of having been like badly pummeled by Astrid and then stabbed in the back before he could really notice, he immediately pulls back from the pair of you, and with a sudden poof, he is gone from your immediate sight. And the dog, sort of feeling some unheard command, sort of scampers to its feet and begins to run out into the night. But that blood that he lost splashes onto the floor, Javier. And do you know what I'm going to ask for right now?
yep, and also if heightened senses, because I imagine since I'm so fucking hungry, if this goes, is heightened senses going to allow me to track him by scent?
Potentially, but I would say there would be a penalty to that roll because you are...
Yeah, because it's a mental roll, right?
Yeah.
Actually, if I frenzy, I think I can only use physical something or other's brains. Anyways, that's ahead of us. Right now, the bridge we're crossing is to resist a frenzy.
Yeah, that's it.
And somehow I did it.
yay!
yeah.
There you go. You resisted.
Okay,
you
so
can feel the beast like sort of
yeah.
pull at its chains, and it didn't succeed that time, but it's getting there. And the blood.
I still want to track this fucker down.
Well, it's up to you. You can try.
Yeah, I can. The cost for heightened senses is free.
Yeah. So you need to roll to, I think, still to.
Yeah, it's I add Ausvex to all perception rolls.
Okay.
And it's the
Oh,
ability
right,
to see
that's
in
the thing I
pitch
have.
darkness, hear ultrasonic frequencies, and smell the fear of cowering prey.
I guess he would technically be classified as prey right now.
You know, the best part is I think I forgot dinner, so I'm actually hungry.
I'm gonna make that a
Um,
wit stealth roll for him to sort of evade your.
okay. And
And you
this is
can
going to be
awareness and wits maybe, or
yeah, I guess is it wits? Yeah, either way, wits or intelligence, either
I
one are
think
the same one,
survival
so
is more of a tracking skill, but it's up to you.
I can roll survival.
Yeah, do wit.
I have more dots in that than awareness.
Give me wit survival, and I'll do wits stealth for him to try to evade you, or to see if he
Okay.
left a track, at least.
Everything's a
Yes,
messy
it
critical.
really is.
Oh, feral, man.
He is absolutely feral.
He is gone in the night.
Yep.
And now you are just standing there. You're kind of splashed with his blood over the front of your leathers. It's puddling on the ground as well. These rats are sort of just milling around in large furry grey patches here and there. Uh, what would you like to do, Javier? Now that you're here, you've kind of got you're no longer fighting, but you're feeling the hunger frenzy, or not? You're feeling hunger. You're feeling intense hunger.
Oh yeah, I am definitely like I imagine it's one of those he doesn't need to breathe, but right now he is attempting some sort of breathing exercise to hold that beast back.
Javier, one thing I'll point out to you is that you are currently surrounded by a teeming mass of little blood
hmm
bags.
I'm just wondering if I'm hungry enough to consider that because that's
You are
gross.
hungry enough to consider that. At 5,
Yeah.
you are hungry enough to consider that.
Okay.
This is as hungry as you can get.
Well, let's see here because hungry enough to consider, but also ew rats, and also they're like a bite. Like I'd have to eat how many of these?
Oh, but consider that 5 hunger is literally like you are so hungry. If you
Mhm,
don't eat this second, you will lose your mind.
Yeah.
mhm.
Like you feel like you're gonna die because
Astrid just
Did the did
because
the dog disappear?
yeah,
yeah.
the dog took off. You feel like
Okay.
right now it's like an option between eating one of these rats or like eating Astrid, who's the next nearest thing with blood.
Yeah.
Like
So
this
yeah,
is
he's probably like whirling around and like that heavy, almost snarling breath
yeah.
because he is trying so hard to like not frenzy.
Uh,
And hmm?
I don't know. Astrid just looks really concerned. Not like because she doesn't know that she's on the menu, but she's just like, "Whoa, you all right?"
You said that like this dude splattered on me, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing he's gonna do is try to go after whatever's on his like sleeve or whatever.
Yeah, there's probably no hunger dots to that. It's like it's enough to
Mm-hmm.
sort of feel like maybe you're actually it's like when you're starving and you eat like a tiny appetizer. All it does is make you more hungry.
Mm-hmm. But it's gonna be he goes from that, locks eyes with Astrid, and is basically like, get the fuck away from me, and then makes himself dive for a rat instead.
Okay, so you have sort of sunk to the bottom of the barrel here. I imagine from a Toreador perspective, you are. This isn't just grabbing one rat and like sipping. This is
Nope.
picking up like rat after rat, like up to a dozen of them, and just like ripping,
And
tearing them open and drinking the blood as it sort of spills out into your mouth.
trying not to taste any of it.
Yeah, it doesn't taste great. One thing about the blood of animals is it doesn't have that. Like you would have certain, like you would know that there's like a certain taste to blood depending on like the emotions felt by the person that had the blood, who it came from, by the source. And
Oh,
there's like
I have bloodhounds, so
Yeah.
I can smell it. I don't even have to taste it.
animals have like their own kind of resonance, but it's not appealing. It's you'd have to you kind of need to have the taste for it, which you don't have. But for this if you continue just drinking down these rats first scene, your hunger will reduce by 1.
Unless someone's gonna stop him, that's what he's gonna do.
Well, let's cut to Victoria. Victoria, what are you doing at the moment?
Since the fight seems to have concluded for now, Victoria will poke her head out from behind the crate and kind of wave Astrid over to back up away from the very hungry Toreador.
I'll,
Come over here.
I'll go over there, and like when she's closer to her, it's just gonna be like, "Ew, he's eating the rats."
Did
I
he
tried that once.
actually say he's a Toreador?
Pardon?
No. Okay, we'll scratch the Toreador part. The very
The dude.
hungry
It was meta.
guy.
It was
Just
meta
come over here.
commentary. It wasn't.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, she's just like, "Ew, he's eating the rats. I tried that once. That's gross."
Yeah, I can't stomach them personally, but better the rats than us.
Wait, what?
You've been through a lot tonight. I'll go over that later. Sorry about throwing you at Baldy.
No,
You good?
I'm fine. Shucks, he got away. I'm sorry.
No, very brave. Thank you for listening to me. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not so good at. And she kind of looks at the steak. Like, I mean, I'm better at punching people, but actually, like, does a little jabbing motion, not toward you, but like in the general air. She's like, not super great at it.
That's okay. You did far better than I would have. And then Victoria will peek over the box again to see how many rats Javier has eaten, and if he looks any
There's
calmer.
just snarling noises and pitiful squeaks.
Okay.
Yeah. And just
okay.
like husks, like dead rats, just like furry lumps just being tossed aside.
He's just going to keep
Hi,
going
I'm
unless
back.
someone stops him.
Also,
Welcome back.
Archie, let me just fill you in real quick on what's happened.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Oh no.
the man with the X has sort of got a nasty stab in his throat by Javier with Javier's switchblade, and bled in the process before disappearing, running away. Javier managed to resist a blood frenzy, but is basically, as soon as the fight was over, dropped to his knees amongst the swarming rats and just began eating rat after rat. Like just tearing them open and pouring the contents down his throat. And he's just been
Archie,
he's just sort of sitting
that's
there
what
doing
Archie
that.
does, so.
Archie's probably never done it quite as
No.
savagely as Javier is doing it right now.
Archie goes visible again if the guy is gone. Is the dog gone as well?
Yeah, they've both gone.
Cool. He's gonna walk up to Javier and just pat him on the back.
Yeah.
He snarls at you.
Aww.
Victoria grabs him by his little Chewbacca outfit and pulls him back behind the box as quickly as she can.
I guess we did miss that. Astrid was nearby, and he basically yelled, "Get the fuck away from me!"
Yeah.
Aww. Okay, if he yelled that at Astrid, Archie wouldn't have done that.
But he's currently drinking the rats while Victoria
Archie
and
looks-
Astrid are having a conversation nearby.
Archie looks a bit distressed at this, but not overly. It's like, damn. He looks like how distressed you'd be if you saw someone at McDonald's eating like 30 Big Macs in a row.
I believe that's a valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what this is, except imagine that they're eating them off the floor.
Yeah. Archie's like, damn, this guy's
Not
not
only
well.
that, but also if he's
Like,
not being discerning, he's probably gonna have to yuck some of this later.
Yeah. He's smeared in rat blood too, like just covered in it. Like it's
Mm.
like
Oh, it's like all in his beard.
yeah, and it's like, and I'd imagine there's like, you know, viscera and stuff pooled around him on the concrete. You know, just it's an unpleasant sight, and it's
It
going to
looks
be a
like a
mess that
stray
someone has
cat
to clean
got.
up.
Yep,
I
it's like someone let a stray cat in.
Archie will say, is he okay?
He will be. He's just a bit hungry. I think we leave him to it, and once he's settled again, we can continue our conversation. That was so rudely interrupted.
Oh yeah.
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 Thank you
Well-
for providing our new friend quotation mark with his meal, Archie.
That's okay. Archie has not taken his eyes off Javier the entire time.
Ashford is actively looking away. He is looking everywhere but at Javier.
How many hunger points until these rats stop looking appealing?
Well, that's up to you. In order to consume, like, this will take a whole scene for you to get your hunger down to 1. So your hunger's only going to get down by 1 this scene, but then we can potentially move on to more robust sources of food. That's the
He
problem.
really
with hunger,
hates animal blood.
Yeah.
He like
Yeah.
super hates it.
Like, I would imagine once you get past that, you know, get that 1 dot sort of slaked, you're like, I can hold it and find something better. Because right now, I imagine you are suffering the Toreador Bane as well, because this is not a nice place to be. This is a place smeared in rat guts and dead rat bodies, and it's blank, and it's industrial, and it's banal. Plus, it looks like a mass murder happened here.
Archie very slowly raises his hand and covers Ratfew's eyes.
So
Yeah, he will stop after 1 hunger point
Yeah.
then because he really hates this stuff.
okay, so you can reduce your hunger by 1.
Okay.
And you are also suffering the Toreador Bane, which I believe is a negative.
It's only social rolls, it's fine.
Yeah, I think your Bane at the moment
I
is
can't
1 or 2.
It's 1. And I had it written down that it's that his aesthetic fixation is nonconformity, so he gets penalties to uniforms, corporate aesthetics, or people adhering to society rules to the point where one loses their individuality.
I mean, this place does not conform to any standard, but on the same token, it's just an unpleasant place, which I think also would impact a Toreador. Just
It's covered in rat blood, and
Yeah.
I've eaten a significant amount of it. So yeah,
yeah.
no, he's feeling pretty gross about himself.
This is not
right
his
now.
aesthetic.
No,
Dead rat sheet.
this is not. He is not one of those people that's like into like just blood murals or whatever.
So as Javier gets to his feet, he leaves like this like smeared blood handprints on the smooth concrete. Like there's like, you know, gut and chunks of hair, and just you're covered in it and the ground's covered in it, and you turn back around to face the other 3 members of your coterie.
And he's only 7 humanity, so he actually can't stomach anything else of the rats that weren't blood.
Well, that'll happen at the end of the night.
Is it the end of the night, or would it be immediately?
Like, is it at the end of the? Hang on.
'Cause I don't have a merit for it. So I was going to say then the first thing he's going to go do is go run behind probably the car, unless there's something else to go run behind.
A car.
Okay, so you can either you don't have Blush of Life on. I'm assuming you haven't rolled for it. Make a composure and stamina test, or else you're just going to throw up in front of them. Difficulty 3.
I
composure or
will
stamina
make the test to see if I can at least get out of sight.
Yeah, well, that's what
I
it is.
try to salvage what dignity I have left.
Composure plus stamina, difficulty 3.
Okay.
You're doing all the rolls.
I am doing all the rolls.
While Javier does that, Victoria uses cloud memory on Rathu.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah, that was like
is this
witnessing.
considered a social role?
No, this is just a physical roll.
Okay.
You've seen me vomit up a few rats in his time, I think.
It's just to avoid throwing up in front of everybody. Yeah, you managed to do it. You managed to get out of sight before you start throwing up the rat viscera that you accidentally ate. And Rathu's mind is wonderfully clear of the rat hate crime that he just witnessed.
I mean, to be fair, don't rats like eat each other?
I mean,
probably.
Not like that.
no, they totally do. They totally do.
Not
I was like,
You
I
put
asked
them
the
in
biology
a
major over
barrel,
here.
and they will eat each other
Yeah,
alive.
they don't eat each other
Hell
like
yeah.
that, though. That's not. That's above and beyond.
Yep, so he is he's going to I don't know if there's anywhere else besides the car that he can excuse himself.
I think you can go like outside the door, maybe like outside the roller door, because you were right at that.
So instead he just looks up at all the rest of you, doesn't say anything, and just celerity blurs out the fucking door.
Yeah.
Oh, where'd he go?
I would
Anyone
like
with
to.
acute hearing knows.
I would like to fade that scene out and move on to our next scene.
Yeah.
But we can decide what you're doing. I'll say we're in the car. Victoria's driving. I'm not sure if Victoria would let Javier in the car. Maybe put him on a blanket like Archie.
Yeah, he's been designated to the dog blanket in the back.
So Javier and Archie are sharing the dog blanket in the back of the car. And I would say Astrid's probably in the passenger seat in this case, riding shotgun.
He's like hunched over, he is too tall for the back seat, and his legs are like up to his chest.
Archie's info dumping on Javier about, like, you know, all his friends. So basically Astrid, Victoria, and Ratfu is explaining everything he knows about them. Which isn't a lot about Victoria, I imagine.
Well, you've only really known Astrid for like a week.
Yeah, but she lives with me.
Been an awesome week.
Yeah.
Except for just sitting on a box like those 2 hours that you're asleep. Just
He's
kind
got
of
the
waiting for
window
something to
cracked.
happen.
Javier does crack a window for Victoria's mercy.
Thank you.
Victoria, you're the
And-
driver. Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, he's not really responding, and he's just kind of staring out the window. He's not tuning you out, but he's not responding.
Victoria,
Archie doesn't care.
Victoria, you're the driver. So where would you be taking your crew?
I know. Let's see.
I'm in
So-
such a presentable state to see a prince now.
Well, last session, I can't remember. Were we told that we would now have a meeting, or that the sheriff would be like arranging one at some point?
You would have a meeting, but the sheriff did not tell you where the meeting would be, when it would be. The sheriff just said that you are now entitled to have one, to be presented and go through that right.
Okay. In that case, I guess, where would I be taking them?
My house.
I am covered in rat blood.
Alright, what's the time in game? Like,
I would say at this point we are cresting towards the dawn hours. I would say it's probably around round 3 at this point in
Right,
time.
okay.
You've got
so we still got some time.
yeah,
before the
you've got
sunrise.
time. Yeah, you could potentially you've got time to hunt up a more robust source of food if you really wanted to. A few other things.
Okay. Victoria will take the new crew back to her haven just because she thinks she's the only one that has running water.
I've got running water.
I
So-
don't think you have running water, Archie. Don't lie to my face like that.
The water is flowing.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm the only one that has clean running water. For perhaps a shower for our friend. And also, I don't live in a sewer system. We can at least get him food.
What kind of
What a shack.
what kind of hotel is Victoria staying in at the moment?
I've got her with a 2-dot haven, so she would have like an apartment somewhere.
So probably like
Rel-
maybe like a serviced apartment somewhere in the city.
Yeah,
Actually, probably outside the city because there's not a ton of apartment buildings at the moment.
Yeah.
At this point in time.
so probably like edge of the city.
And thankfully, being a serviced apartment, there's no one like there's not a big lobby with people sort of hanging out in it. You're just
No.
kind of given a key and you go up the elevator yourself. So you probably park in an underground parking lot.
Sorry, just the idea of you bringing me up to your apartment is very funny.
It's done incredibly reluctantly. Let it be known.
I'm sure there's a moment where you consider making Archie wait in the car.
She's
Don't even have-
she's considering like starting to call in favors, like, you owe me for this one, Archie.
Okay.
Javier, to his credit, does take off the outer jean vest that is all gross now. Takes that off. Uses whatever clean spot of it he can find to try to wipe as much off his face as possible, and then just stuffs that in his jacket and zips it up so he is not as much of a mess.
That's fair. So I imagine you park in the parking lot, and you can walk them in through the lobby. Nosferatu in the new sort of V5 system are not immediately masquerade breaches. Obviously, Archie is not pleasant to look at. And,
How dare you?
Well, I mean, you made it.
Yeah. Look, in the concept section, it does just say a fucked up little guy.
It does.
I have a solution for this. I want to make sure people, like, you know how, like, when you see somebody and you're like, oh shit, I better not make eye contact with them, and you look anywhere else but them?
Yeah.
I am doing that. I have the worst resting bitch face right now.
Okay.
We just need to find the mask for the Chewbacca costume.
It's like a rubber one.
Yeah, it's
So
long.
true.
It's long missing.
It's paper.
Oh, God.
It was
Yeah, I
paper
dropped it
mache,
in a
melted.
So yeah, you're walking through the lobby. Javier is leaving, but I would say at this point, because you've walked over some like gravel and dirt, they're less bloody footprints and more just like muddy bloody footprints. Like
If it comes to that, he'd take his boots off.
yeah. So you've left a few of them. You maybe take your boots off at the door and kind of carry them the rest of the way.
He probably took his boots off before he even got in the car. Again, as a mercy to Victoria.
Okay, so yeah, you're just carrying them then, and you get to the elevator. It's the elevator itself is just an old kind of elevator. This is not a brand new apartment block. It's probably been around for about 30 years at this point, and I imagine part of what drew Victoria to this as a haven is that it's not right in the middle of like the beating heart of the community, so it's kind of out of the way. It's not a place that's going to fall under like heavy scrutiny, but it's also sort of comfortable and well appointed.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So yeah, you go upstairs to near the top floor. Victoria has an apartment that takes up like a quarter of the top floor. So it's it's got a corner. The windows look out over the suburb below. It's quieting down a little bit now. As it gets closer to dawn and people start to try and find their way home. You can see like a main drag with bars and clubs sort of off in the distance. Through the windows, it's dark in here. The lights aren't on, so most of the light is coming through the window. But it's a very nice apartment, the sort of apartment you'd expect for someone with millions of dollars, sort of.
Archie
In
has not taken
savings.
off.
Yeah, in savings. Yeah.
Archie has not taken off any of his dirty clothes, and he's just
No.
walking around the apartment in amazement. Like, wow, you live here?
Archie starts
Yeah.
rolling on the couch like a dog.
Like
Yes.
Javier's like taking careful like measures to make sure he doesn't dirty anything because he was raised better than that. And then Archie just like walks in. Javier just
Sorry.
watches the trail he leaves and just very quietly to Victoria is just like, I'll clean that up.
Don't concern yourself over it. I am well aware
Yeah.
of how you two will be. And she waves towards the bathroom.
It's a fully
You
serviced...
hear-
Oh, sorry. Go on, Archie.
I was going to say, you hear Archie shout in another room, "Look, grab you, wires!"
Victoria, you immediately can't think of anything that should have exposed wires in your apartment.
Yeah.
And I imagine you quickly hurry off into the other room to make sure Archie's not
Slapping hands.
Gnawing at anything.
I'll say in the bathroom there's also a washer and dryer because it's a fully serviced apartment. It has everything, even things that a kindred might not necessarily need. So Javier's gone to the bathroom. Victoria and Archie have run off to another room. Astrid, what are you doing? Are you just sort of being polite and not damaging things, not dirtying anything?
Yes, very much so. She's just gonna take a spot over by the window and just kind of look outside to the vista.
Do you still have the stick?
Yes, I still have the stake.
Yeah, do you want to... yeah, I mean, you still have it. It's unused. You didn't manage to get it into X's chest, so you still you're just sort of holding this at the moment. It's fairly big. You could maybe hide it under like some long and obscuring clothes. Probably not. If you're dressed the way Astrid is in her art, you probably don't have anywhere to hide it at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Just kind of like I'm doing like that thing where like you conceal it with like your hand and like your forearm.
yeah.
Like you're not holding it the way it's meant to be held. You're kind of like you're gripping it from underneath.
Yeah.
But now that we're in the apartment, she'll like hold it like she should.
Yeah.
Now that she's not like trying to hide it from other people.
That's good. What do you? Okay, here's a question. Victoria, do you have a phone in your apartment?
Yes, she would.
Okay.
Maybe that's what Archie found the wires for.
Yeah, he's pulling out the landlines and all the phone connections. It's just like, can you fucking not touch things?
I'm assuming that the phone that Archie is toying with is in maybe like the bedroom, or at least the sleeping room.
Yeah.
And there's probably another one out in the lounge room where Astrid is. They both got the same number, so they both begin to ring at the same time. I'm assuming Archie has the phone in his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Astrid, you're just sort of standing next to it as it rings.
Yeah, I'll just kind of look over at that and then just expect Victoria to probably pick up the phone.
Archie, do you try to answer the phone, or do you give it to Victoria, or what?
I just like very quickly just like push it forward out in front of Victoria. You know what?
Oh, you are a menace! And she takes the phone and answers it. Hello, Miss Erin speaking. How can I help you?
You immediately recognize the sort of cool, impassive voice of the sheriff. Says, Miss Erin, did you have trouble at the warehouse?
Yes. Yeah, we just left all the rat carcasses there. Yes, do you recall how I was saying about that fellow who claimed we had stolen his package?
Yes.
Yes.
He gave you problems.
Yes, he seems to have followed us all the way to the delivery point, and unfortunately we were not able to deal with him fully.
Not able to deal with him. What has happened to him?
He went away. I shout. Oh, wait, I can't hear.
Yes, it is not on speakerphone.
Yeah.
Oh wait, but I got vampire hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Well, there was a bit of a scuffle, and a few blows came to pass, but he poof out of existence. Off he went, and unable to track him, ma'am.
Interesting. I imagine he has something to do with the anarchs across the river. But if he's leaving you alone for now, unless he followed you,
Did he fall?
He didn't. I would assume he was too badly wounded to.
you injured him.
Oh yes, he is quite injured.
Oh yeah, you totally did that.
I wouldn't.
Or me.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
By
have
her
taken-
command.
I wouldn't have taken you for a brawler, Miss Errant.
I have many talents.
As is becoming evident.
Mm.
Well, I'm sure you'll agree there's not enough time in the night for our meeting to happen tonight. And from what I hear, our friend from the box is in no condition to be meeting his societal betters.
No, I, under no circumstance, would dare to bring him to court right now.
Yes.
Speaking of, if it is within your power, would you mind terribly if I was to take him out to the streets around my haven to have a meal for
Not your
this
haven.
evening?
Not your haven.
Not my. Okay.
Take him
to
to
the-
take him to the rack.
To the rack? Yeah, okay. I have permission to do that, ma'am?
Yes. You all have
Perfect.
permission to feed in the rack if you so desire.
Delightful. Thank you very much.
Until such permission is revoked.
Yes, of course. Thank you very much.
Very well. And then she hangs up.
He
Okay.
seems nice.
She seems intimidating. Now, can you
Why?
stop touching things?
I imagine I'm still holding the actual like wire or something.
Yeah,
I don't know
he's
what
like
type
twirling it around his finger.
Yeah.
I just imagine Archie is just holding the curtain now and just like running his fingers down the curtain.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. Delightful fabrics.
Velvet.
Victoria's like, it's not even velvet. Right. So you know, Victoria, the rack is... It's across town from where you are. You could get there pretty quickly in your car, if you needed to. It's in St Kilda, so it's by the beach. It's a popular sort of night spot, clubs and bars and brothels and what have you. It's one of the racks in Melbourne. Which means it's the most easy place to get a feed. But it's kind of communal, so you're expected to be careful and not, spoil it for everyone else.
So clearly take the Hunger 4 man there.
Well.
If you need more rats,
We have
I can get more
ways.
rats.
I just think I have to make another frenzy test if I taste blood at Hunger 4.
Well, not if you're feeding. If you're feeding, like if there was like just a drop of blood at Hunger 4, then you would be worrying about a frenzy test. But if you're in the middle of feeding, you're not going to worry about it because you're getting what you want. Although it may be, you might have a little bit of difficulty stopping, so you might be good to have your friends around.
Mm-hmm.
But would you like to take him to the rack now? His clothes are still bloodied. Maybe that's something he can wear.
Yes, because we're totally the same size.
Oh, wait, yeah, you could squeeze into one of the sequin dresses she has, right?
Absolutely. Make a micro skirt out of it.
Victoria will... Is he still in the bathroom? He's still in the bathroom, Javier?
Yeah, he's trying to be as quick and efficient as possible because he knows he's running out of moonlight.
Okay, well...
But he's reluctant to leave the bathroom without a change of clothing. So when you say, "Are you still in there?" and he's like, "Yep,"
One thing I'll add, Victoria, is there is a souvenir and memorabilia shop next to the building you're in. It's locked. It's closed.
Alright.
It's closed though, so it would involve.
If only we had a group of people with proficiency in
if only everyone
larceny.
had larceny in the store.
Some of us were good at robbing places. Okay.
yeah. Obviously, the leather jacket. I imagine he was able to just kind of wipe blood off of because it's a leather jacket, and it's not the soft one. It's more like a biker jacket. The denim one is going to need some work. The jeans he can probably excuse because they're already distressed and torn up anyways, so a few bloodstains on them is probably not like the worst thing ever.
Chic.
I imagine that he probably tried to clean off the boots. Because they're kind of more like a almost a Doc Marten style of boots, where they're
It's
probably
Doc.
also easy to rinse.
No one's gonna look at his feet that much.
Yeah. But he doesn't want
Look at that guy's
he
gross
doesn't
fucked up feet. Ugh.
Ew.
he just doesn't want to leave a mess.
That's okay. Archie, darling, if you could pull yourself away from destroying my cables for 3 seconds.
Archie looks a little bit surprised. Oh, okay. He puts down all the cables he had amassed in his hands.
There is a abhorrent souvenir store just down the street. Would you do me a little favor and run in, don't make a scene, grab a shirt, run out?
It's closed.
Preferably,
so, yeah.
oh yeah, preferably invisible.
I can
Do you
only
think
be
you could
invisible when I
handle
don't
that?
move.
Ah, shit. Preferably sneaky-like.
Archie gives double thumbs up. He does a whistle. Ratfew comes running from around the corner. Who knows where he's been?
You have a new access hole, probably.
Just one t-shirt, large, nothing else. Don't get caught. I trust you.
He smiles very wide at that.
I trust you won't, I live here, so please don't ruin that for me.
Okay,
Cool.
No pressure.
No pressure. Are we in agreement?
He again double thumbs up. He scuttles off.
Best of luck to you, little rat man.
Cry.
Yes.
Would I be able to just get... Because a shirt's not heavy.
No.
Could I just get Ratfew to go in and drag out a shirt for us?
Hey, the more distressed it is, the less it'll proc his bane.
I would say potentially, but it's also a a door, like a it's a secured door. It's not like they just kind of It's a shop front. They don't want people sneaking in, and they probably don't want rats coming in off the street either, because most places are built to prevent like random animals just walking in. So you could maybe if you could like make a way for him to access, but he couldn't immediately get in. I mean, maybe if he like scuttled around in the walls and stuff for a bit and looked, but
yeah, but then getting the shirt out would be difficult as well. Very tempted to have after all that, like, please don't make a scene, go on. Then a couple of minutes later, Victoria just hears a massive crash.
God.
There will be no more solo missions for Archie.
No, I don't.
Going
I
forward.
don't do that.
There is an alleyway that you could check behind the buildings where they put out their dumpsters and stuff.
Yeah, I'll go have a look over there.
Find one in the garbage.
Oh, maybe I could go for the roof.
It's up to you.
So
What do you like to do?
many.
Back here in the alleyway, there is a dumpster that you could probably use to climb up to the roof. Wouldn't be too hard for you with your.
I would like to ask Ratfew to go have a look on the roof, see if there's any way in up there.
Okay, well, you have to climb up a little to put him there.
Yeah.
So he scurries around up there, and after a few minutes comes back and says glass hole.
Glass hole?
What you call me?
Is there a way? Okay, I'll climb up.
Yep. So yeah, you see a skylight there.
And I'm guessing there's no way to open
It
it.
has a latch. It has a latch.
Okay. Okay. Is it on the inside or the outside?
Well, there's two. There seems to be one on the inside, one on the outside.
Would I be able to get Rat for you to go find a way into the buildings? Because I'm guessing there's like vents and shit on top of the.
Sort of. They're pretty. It's like a pipe that but it's sort of a long vertical drop. It's up to you whether you want to drop him down there.
It'll be fine. I say, okay, I need you to go undo that latch for me. You know how to do that?
High up, too high up.
Yeah, you're a vampire rat.
Can't fly. Rat, not
Yeah.
bad.
Throw him.
True, rat, not bat. To that end, I would maybe like to use my animal ken to try and find a bat.
Okay. That's a rouse. That's a rouse check then. You'll need
Yeah,
to
it's
summon a
fine.
bat. I'm gonna say that's a difficulty 3 because there are plenty of bats around, but they get more attracted to the big lights of the city because that's where the moths go and they eat the moths. So
Fair. Okay, I'll roll the
charisma plus animal ken, I believe,
Yep.
and a rouse check as well.
I get no extra dice, I'm guessing. Difficulty 3.
No extra dice.
Uh
Okay, so you succeed in the summoning of a bat.
and then rouse check. Rouse check succeeded.
Okay. So you kind of again reach out through the animalistic powers of your blood, and a handful of bats, not just one, like about 3 or 4 of them, appear and just start sort of squeaking and circling above you.
I would like to use my feral whispers to
Yes.
talk to bats. That's another rouse check, right?
Oh, no, I'd
Yes.
say with this rouse check, you sort of earn the ability to talk to them. I would rather
Okay.
make you do another one. And they're sort of
I
squeaking.
say, hey
around.
guys.
Like, hi, got some new moths? Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I can get you lots of moths
They're
actually.
constantly saying hi, kind of in time with their sonar squeaking. They're hi,
Oh.
hi.
They're
hi,
the
hi,
seagulls from Nemo.
yeah, hi, hi.
I say, if one of you could go into this store through that pipe,
Hi.
and I show them the latch on top and be like, and I open it with my mouth to show them how to do it with their mouths.
Okay.
And I'd be like, if you could do that and open this latch down the bottom,
Okay.
there are lots of moths in there.
Hi, and they all sort of like it's kind of hard for them to get through the pipe. The opening's not big, but they kind of like flutter down there, and you hear them sort of fall through the pipe, and then later they're kind of fluttering around inside the skylight, like belting against it a little bit. You can hear like muffled like ho. And they're not really made for this sort of thing.
No.
And while they do kind of unhook the latch eventually, it's really it's slow going. You sit there for a while, maybe wondering if this was the best plan of attack for this mission.
Oh, definitely not.
But eventually it does unhook, and you take advantage of that to quickly push the skylight open, and the bats flutter out like, no moths, liar, man.
No moths in there? But the moths told me they were in there.
Liar. Hi. And they just sort of like, and they fly away. They're no longer interested in
Oh, the bats hate me now.
Liar. You hear them saying like, liar. They fly away into the night.
I would like to jump down.
Okay, you land in the middle of a very kitschy kind of souvenir shop. There's like little like stuffed kangaroos and wooden pictures of I don't know what's the building that would be present at the time, like the exhibition building, the state library, and there's a bunch of T-shirts, and they're all invariably touristy, like giant Australian flag T-shirts, or one that's got like a picture of a colourful sort of outline of the Opera House, even though the Opera House is not in this city. One that says "I love Australia," another one that just says like "G'day, mate,"
I try and find a shirt that I think would suit Javier, but I don't because it's Archie. I think I fail miserably.
Yeah. You get one that says that's like hot pink, and it says
Yeah.
"G'day, mate" in like big bold like black letters on it.
Black. That's the right color. I look around
So
and now
what was the description of this shirt? I need to make sure I know for shitpost doodles later.
This shirt is like just a big oversized t-shirt. Archie goes like sizes too big for Javier, even though Javier is a big guy.
He's tall, but he's not very wide.
Yeah, so it's built for someone who's not only tall but like very wide. It's hot pink, so like that unbearable like, you know, bright
retina
pink.
searing fuchsia.
Yeah, and it says in big black like block letters "G'day," and then underneath that "mate" with an exclamation mark. And then it's got like, you know, written on the back, just, you know, just under the collar on the back on the neck where it says Melbourne, Australia.
am I?
It's an
I don't-
airport t-shirt.
Yeah,
literally,
that's
yeah.
exactly what it is.
Because I don't know the extent of like vampire base abilities or whatnot, would I be able to just like jump back out or anything, or do I have to find another way out?
I would say what are your disciplines? Oh, actually, I would say with a rouse check you could just jump straight out. So just do a rouse check to sort of like give yourself a blood surge.
+1.
Hunger finally
Yeah,
goes up.
finally a bit hungry.
You
No,
feel,
hunger too. Whatever will you do?
you feel the beast kind of uncurl within you, like, hey, we could go for another bite. Don't you think?
Hey, you know what? Maybe eating all those rats wasn't a bad idea.
I think about those bats. I think about those bats over here and lick my lips.
You can kind of ignore it. It's not so pressing right now. But yeah, you jump right out and you can close it behind you.
Yeah, I do.
And then we'll cut back to Victoria and the others in the apartment as Archie returns with the t-shirt. Maybe after Archie has returned, so we're sort of the camera pan. So the screen fades and we cut to Javier standing there wearing the new t-shirt.
How long did it take for this to go? Like, was anything able to be washed and or dried?
Oh yeah, this took Archie a while. He chose the strangest strategy to get in there, so he was gone for a while.
I
don't
would
know what
love
you're
the
talking
idea
about.
if he like comes back successful and like Javier's already gotten his old shirt back on.
No, you don't have to. That shirt is gonna need like to soak. It's not gonna.
Yeah, it's soaking in the sink.
Yeah, it's not gonna clean out. The washing machine that Victoria has does not have the industrial strength required to clean that shirt.
He probably checked under the cabinets to see if she had any like stain removers or like some hydrogen peroxide or something.
Well, I imagine when
lemon juice.
I imagine when Victoria's clothes, like Victoria decides to change clothes, she just throws out the one she has and buys a new one.
Straight out the window.
not even to like Goodwill, just like.
Nah, Victoria would have the supplies to get blood out of things on account of once being a woman.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Also, now being a vampire.
And now, I guess, being a vampire. But she throws her clothes out, so it's like less relevant.
Yeah.
Life skills.
Yeah.
All right, so Javier's standing in his nice new shirt.
Yep, and the first thing is that he's gonna look at the rest of you. He's like, "You all hate me, don't you?"
Yes.
Archie
Now-
looks genuinely hurt at that.
I also wonder if at this point in history it'd be like, what's G-Day?
So did I hear that simultaneously the response was yes and no?
Yeah, and as I said, Archie looks like genuinely really hurt at that. Like if on brink of tears almost.
Aw.
I thought you'd like it.
It's a wonderful color.
Victoria just said no immediately, right?
It's like a sarcastic no. Like a no, of course.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a wonderful color, and beggars can't be choosers. We'll get the blood out of your clothes soon. Right now, who's hungry? And she claps
Yes.
like she's like a kindergarten teacher.
Javier is zipping the jacket all the way up over it. Which
It's
also, doesn't he still have a gaping hole in his chest from the stake?
oh yeah, you'd need to use your blood to heal that, and that's up to you whether you. I'm not going to say it's giving you an actual wound, but it's
I can't afford that.
yeah, but you can't be spending blood on healing stuff. So you do have a gaping hole in your chest. It's not
It was
bleeding or
probably
anything
then
because blood doesn't really flow like through veins and stuff unless you make it. So it's just a hole. But you
Yeah,
don't-
but it's still a hole, so
Yeah.
he probably raided any sort of
just stuff-
whatever he could
stuffed it
find
full
in
of
the
rags.
bathroom. It was probably one of those things of like, if I don't know why she would have had a first aid kit, but if she did, he definitely stole all the gauze out of it.
It's just one of her really nice washcloths that he's like scrunched up and shoved in there.
Mm-hmm. And if he couldn't find any, he's trying to make sure that if anything happens to this shirt, that there's not going to be a gaping masquerade violation on display. That's the concern.
Did anyone else see Javier without his shirt to see the big hole in it?
I mean, everyone did. It was
Oh,
I mean, we
everyone's
all saw the
thought.
stake.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
I
I
think
think
we
we
would
all know it's
assume.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he realized only later that, oh, my shirt is rolled all the way up.
I just thought it might be a bit
And
strange
fixed it.
for Astrid, who has not really seen like the level of traumatic injury that vampires can just kind of shrug off.
No, the minute he noticed that that his shirt was up, he immediately like tried to fix it in front of them.
She had to process that last session when she was like, "This dude is like dead,
Yeah.
y'all," and they're like, "No, he's fine."
He was like mummified.
No, he's fine.
With a
Bounce
chunk
back.
of wood in his chest. And he's like, "Yeah, he's fine. Don't worry about it." Okay, so you're going to head to the. Should we cut to the next scene where you arrive in?
Well, do we have enough time to get there, reliably feed everyone, and get back?
Well, you'd be cutting it fine.
Mm.
But
He's also gonna. Go ahead.
that's the difficulty of it because if Javier goes to sleep, Javier will potentially be more hungry in the morning when he wakes up.
Yeah.
And do you want a hunger frenzy?
Well,
in your apartment
no.
with you?
I was more asking whether or not taking all 4 of us would be
I mean,
the right call,
you could
or
take
whether
all
just
4
taking.
of you, but I would say you wouldn't really, unless you all went off like on your own to do your hunting.
Yeah, I could probably just go back to my
Yeah. Well, you've all kind of got your own thing, and the only 2 people that could likely really hunt together are Javier and Victoria. Astrid and Archie have their own meals.
You want to go have a lunch date?
I guess we're gonna go have a lunch date.
Also, Javier did politely and sheepishly ask if you had his color of foundation.
We can mix it. We'll mix it up for him.
Okay. And he'd probably definitely, because unfortunately, I think the makeup was probably in it was probably in one of the pockets that I don't know if it's good anymore. It's been a while. So
Think
yeah,
not more.
he'll borrow some of your makeup so he doesn't look dead. Because he also can't afford to blush of life. We're having a
fine.
great time.
It's all sorted.
Well, if we're all
Alright.
if we're all splitting up now like splitting into kind of thirds, I guess. Well, actually, Astrid has no real pressing need to feed. So Astrid, it's up to
she just like hang around.
Yeah.
If they want to take her with them, she'll go.
Yeah.
She'll just kind of like maybe hang out by the car or
well,
something. With
yeah. Sorry, and also Archie's hunger is only 2, so
yeah.
not the sort of hunger that he needs to rush out and take care of. So you guys could technically go with them. You don't need to feed.
Plus, I can literally just summon food.
Yeah.
yeah.
Victoria will will address Astrid and be like, "Hey, so, out of curiosity, how long have you been kindred?"
Archie, what day is it again?
It was
It's hard to tell.
Thursday, I believe.
Oh yeah, what?
Thursday. About a week then.
About a
Yeah.
week. Has Archie taken you hunting before?
Have I?
We don't talk about that. That was a little embarrassing.
But
You
you do
did
know
great.
how to hunt, yeah?
I guess you could say my hunting's more like shopping.
Shopping.
I
Oh, you're one of those. Oh, okay. Well, I was going to, if you would like to come, feel free. You might not enjoy how we hunt, but you
I
can
mean,
join us if you'd like.
I can hang out by the car.
You can hang out by the car, watch the car, make sure no one dents it any further tonight.
Yeah. But yeah, no. I'm good. I'm a little hungry, but I
You
kind of gather
good?
that's always the case. Like I think we're always a little hungry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a little peckish.
I'm just gonna let you guys like describe your going there and what you're gonna do. While I just duck out 2 seconds. But you guys can sort of describe what you're doing.
Archie, I think, is gonna go back to his shack. Have
You
a
gonna go
little
back to
nap.
your shack? You gonna
Yeah.
walk there?
How? Actually, I don't know how far it is from here.
Mm. You're free to sleep in the closet or something if you'd like. Don't touch anything. But
I run to the closet.
No. Actually, I've changed my mind. Please come out of the closet.
Oh.
Go to the bathroom in the tub.
Oh. Wait, isn't Archie? I think Archie still has the assumption from like vampire media, if that exists in Vampire the Masquerade, that vampires are bad with running water, which is why he hasn't probably taken a shower in a very long time.
Well, he just witnessed Javier take one.
Yeah, that's the first time it's kind of clicked for him that he can do that.
His man just like hovering to the. Is he gonna be okay?
Should we tell him?
If you would like to wash yourself, go right ahead. No, just stay in there. Don't touch anything.
I suppose something touched my foot, and I thought it was like a spider or something, but it wasn't.
Is
It's fine.
is staying here like an open invitation? Could I stay here tonight?
You may stay here tonight, Astrid.
Oh, thank you.
Yay, roommate still!
Yay!
You are leagues more clean than he is, so run of the house. Make sure he doesn't, I don't know,
Right.
rip the copper out of my walls. God forbid. I do have to pay rent here.
I'm just imagining Archie having a shower but not taking the costume off.
Javier's definitely doing that thing where he's just looking around with his hands in his pockets, but he's not going to ask. He's like, okay, he's like, he watched Archie take the tub, and so Astrid seems excited. Where does she seem to be wanting to set up camp, so to speak?
She'll kind of look over to him. She's like, "Well, I know Archie's taking the bathroom. What do you want?"
He just looks. He's like, anywhere the sun don't shine.
The sun don't shine anywhere in here. You are safe. I got thumbtacks for the curtains. You're good.
I mean, if you want to be super careful, you could, sleep in the closet or something. But I was probably just going to take the couch or the floor.
Is this like does Victoria have like one of those like big walk-in closets?
Like in hotels where like one wall has like a big sliding mirror on it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like semi walk-in, but you can like lie down in it, I would assume. It is packed with clothes though. Packed.
It's not like he needs to breathe.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I just
that's
you know that scene from E.T. where E.T.'s like amongst all the stuffed toys? I just picture Javier like that, just like sit amongst all the stuff, just.
Just gonna make Javier sleep in a whole wardrobe of corpo outfits.
At least it would be soft. They're all very nice clothing.
But yeah, what he does is he goes over and he slides open that door to the closet, looks at it and goes, "Nope," and shuts it.
did you decide?
and just goes, "I'll take the floor."
So are you picking where are you going to go tonight, or have you decided you're going to sleep?
We're gonna go. It's just I think what it was is people were trying to figure out where they were staying.
Yeah, Javier and Victoria are gonna go to the clubs. Archie's taking the tub
Yeah, I'm
after-
sleeping in the bathtub.
because we figured it would take too long to drop him back to the sewer.
Also, as we mentioned when you weren't here, Archie has only just had the realization that vampires actually aren't hurt by running water and can have a shower if he wants to.
But he doesn't want to, I'm assuming.
I imagined him having one still in the costume. He doesn't know how to take it off anymore.
If you're not going with them to the rack, I can imagine like when like Victoria coming back and the bathtub just has like a ring of grime that is just like now unassailable. Like you need like potence to get that ring of grime off now.
Is Ashford staying, or is Ashford going with them?
She did offer to go along, but like she could probably also stay here if you want company.
So
You know,
which
aside from
one needs
Matthew.
more supervision, the car or the apartment? Oh, I guess the car or Archie.
You'd also probably be considering, Astrid, how willing you are, like as a person that does not like to take blood from like unsuspecting people. You might be considering how willing you are to go and be a party to Javier and Victoria doing just that.
Yeah, because like she was like, if she goes, she's probably just hanging out by the car, is what she said. She probably wouldn't actually help them or hang out with them while they were doing whatever it is they do.
She's like, I don't want to know. Whatever you're doing, I don't want to know.
It might be better to just leave you, have you stay with Archie then, and then we can sort of do it. You guys can have a conversation amongst yourselves, and then we'll. Yeah, so we'll come back to that, but we'll go with the camera will follow Javier and Victoria as they walk down to I would say we can start with them already being in St Kilda rather than just do the drive, unless you think they have something to say discussion wise.
Hence, although I will say that when they go down, he does automatically go to what he assumes is the passenger side. Because he forgets. And so he walks over to your driver's side and goes to open the door.
To save him the embarrassment, Victoria will slip in before he sits down and go, "Oh, how kind of you for opening my door for me. Thank you."
And then just kind of, you just hear, that's going to take some getting used to.
Mm-hmm.
And then circles around to the other side.
There's also a steering wheel there. We're just completely fucked here.
Yeah, there's two. It's one of those like training cars.
Training muscle car.
Yeah.
So our scene fades into Fitzroy Street in St Kilda. It's lit, but not well lit. It's that kind of lit where like there's patches of light, but also long stretches of dark. There are bars, but they're not the kind of bars. They're very bohemian. This is a place where musicians and artists kind of set up shop. It hasn't been gentrified. It's the place they go to find the raw and the real aspects of Melbourne. But what they tend to find is just the crime and the violence and drug abuse and things of that nature. Ideally, it makes sense that this is the rack. This is where people go and they tend to get forgotten about, and people pass through here just looking for thrills. So there's people around here aren't really looking out for one another because most of the population is passing through. It's just here for a night, for a good time. Your car, you pull off into one of the side roads to park. There's a couple of sinister looking men who kind of eye you, Victoria, as you get out of the car, but then kind of turn their attention away when Javier climbs out soon after. There's a bar near here, a club, pumping out sort of like pretty new rock music, pop music, things like dance music specifically isn't really as popular down here just yet. You might have encountered some of it in the US, Javier, but it's not hasn't made it here yet.
Okay.
So you hear kids in America blaring out of a nearby bar. You see some people like dancing around on the dance floor. Some people holding up the bar. It's dark inside. The lights have red, like draperies hung over them that gives the whole thing like a bloody kind of dim glow. It's late, so the people in here are the diehards, the ones that don't really have anywhere else to go, or are just really clinging on for dear life to the party that's already sort of dissipated around them. So the pickings are slim, but also you'd probably find it easier just by virtue of the fact that they're all looking for a warm body before the sun comes up.
Okay. Oh, he is already looking a little uncertain because it occurs to him that his usual tools of the trade might be a little more difficult when he's so very close to. He's been kind of savage about everything tonight, and he's a little worried about that. So he's going to turn to Victoria and just be like, I hate to ask this of you, but oh, my words have gone. So clearly he's having difficulty asking this. He's like, I'm not super in control of myself
Yes,
right now.
I am fully aware. Don't you worry your pretty little head. I had no intention of leaving you here to your own devices. What's your poison? Anything in particular? I would assume you're, unlike Astrid, aware of what you are and what you can and cannot taste, enjoy.
Yes.
All right. Take your pick.
He's just going to, let's see here. He's just going to see if there is, oh, you know what? Better idea. Because, there's people that are still trying to party or whatever, but does he spot any, like, smokers, like, loitering around in the alleyway?
Well, it being the 90s, they're all smoking indoors.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. There are some kind of like, there is a door out into the alleyway because it's one of those sort of venues that has easy access to the alleyways outside because if someone's suddenly sick, they want them to to immediately get out. So the back door is propped open with a half a chunk of a cinder block, and there's some people kind of clustered around the doorway, just sort of chatting over the music. And you can see some of them are smoking, some of them are sharing what doesn't smell like a cigarette.
Yeah. So he gets a whiff of that, and he's like, he makes a face. That's not nicotine.
Yeah.
And
there
he's
are
just
some
like,
smoking cigarettes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he just kind of looks around, and he probably will spot the ones that are like, some that are smoking or whatever, and he's like, he just looks at Victoria and is like, just get one of those idiots into the bathroom, and then leaves for the men's room.
That's you. So you're hunting as a team right now. So
Yes.
that will be for you if you want to sort of talk someone into the bathroom. I'll spare you the 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 detail. I'm assuming you approach one of the cigarette smokers and immediately blast them with charm. Are you seeing fit to use the powers of your blood, or would you rather just try and win them over with your?
So I was planning on probably just using mesmerize to get this over as quick as possible.
That works.
You don't even put on the flirt. You just walk up and say,
If they're in a group, she would put on the flirt just so it doesn't look too suspicious.
Well, you
Try and drag one of them on their own and then mesmerize. Like, go to the bathroom.
You do spot one cigarette smoker who's just kind of by themselves that you could probably pick off without having to draw them out of a group.
Okay, well, in that case, yeah, just straight up mesmerize.
Yeah.
Off to the bathroom. Third stall down.
Well, that's a rouse check. It's being a mortal. I don't think it requires. Yeah, unprepared mortals don't require it. So yeah, just a rouse check for your.
On me.
So you employ the powers of your blood to just sort of immediately draw this person under your spell. They immediately are drawn to you and sort of following you. Although you can now the beast kind of wakes up inside you and says, "And why are we sharing? Why are we sharing our food?"
Damn, Beast, you're so right. Why are we sharing?
I suppose he's not. I suppose he's not our type, is he?
No, absolutely not.
No.
No.
Let the grubby boy have this one. We'll find something better.
We'll find something far more agreeable, shall we?
Yes. So you sort of bring him.
I love that even your beast has a posh accent.
I hope you
Yes.
notice that all your beasts have different voices and attitudes.
I don't think I've even had a voice. It's just been anger.
So far, Victoria's the only one that's had an internal dialogue with her beast.
Yeah.
She would, though.
Archie's beast kind of sounds like pleasant, and Javier's beast, to be fair, has been so hungry that it's really been is like headbutting the inside of Javier's ribcage.
Also, I'm already pissed. Like, I'm already really pissed. In fact, on the way over, when you actually got him talking, he just started bitching about his ex.
Love that. No, that's great. Perfect.
Because you asked for a story, and he isn't giving you a story, but he's like, hey, you want to know about this fucking shit? And
Spill the tea. Hell
he
yeah.
spills the tea. He's pissed off, and he's just ranting about it the whole way.
Mm-hmm. Finally, some good conversation.
Finally, someone not talking about rats.
Finally.
Oh, shitty exes, I can get behind this tea.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so you mesmerize and draw the this smoker into the. It's a young man. He seems to have a lot on his mind. He seems to be he's very drawn in on himself, which is why he was standing alone. But your vampiric abilities managed to sort of snap him out of that briefly. The bathroom itself is empty. It's only got it's like black tile, but black tile that's had like wet, wadded up toilet paper stuck to it in places. So it's got like, those kind of handmade urban stalagmites clinging to surfaces. The mirror has a bunch of stickers for local bands and products sort of stuck over it to the point where you can barely make out your reflection in it. And there's one sort of cubicle that I imagine Javier's waiting in. With like a rickety
He just
wooden
wants to
door.
get this over with.
You can feed off this guy. Obviously, it will take you time to feed off him properly because as you're a practiced enough kindred to know that you got to take it slow to avoid like creating embolisms and other nastiness. But if you take your time to feed from him, you can you basically, I'm assuming Victoria, you kind of lead this guy into the cubicle. Javier's waiting for him there. Javier bites down on his neck, at which point he immediately goes limp. And you can kind of stand at the door and just make sure that no one comes in and interferes. But does that sound acceptable?
If anything, she might even turn on, or if any guy's coming towards the bathroom to piss, just to distract them for a little bit, because she really doesn't want anyone walking in on that.
Okay, so you're standing outside.
Can you just like lock the door and just claim the door's busted?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do that too.
The cubicle
That's no
door
fun,
is
though.
locked, and Javier is inside there with his meal for the evening. It's
I
not
can get 2 points.
yeah, you reduce it by 2 points, but this is it's a bit of a lengthy process. There's I would say a good 10-15 minutes to actually draw out the vitae and lick the wound closed.
Cool.
At which point, actually, hang on. While that's happening, Victoria, a guy in a Fitzroy Lions football jersey,
Ugh.
sort of no shirt under it, so it's just like bare arms and stuff, and pair of jeans, sort of walks up to you and he's like, "Hi, how are you?"
Fabulous. How are you?
I'm wonderful now. I'm just out. The missus allowed me out on the town. You know how it is.
Oh, having a good evening then.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah.
I just need to get into the. And he points at the door behind you.
Unfortunately, it's a real mess in there right now, Occupado. Trust me, you do not go in there.
Foul.
Yeah, I thought you didn't know Spanish.
Everyone knows that.
That's foul. Oh,
Yeah, it's pretty fucking gross, honestly.
yeah. I'll probably just go in the alleyway then.
Yeah, smart.
All right. Ta-ta.
Ta-ta.
And he walks away. Javier, by this point, you've noticed that your new friend has like a very sort of like unhealthy pallor to their skin, and you probably shouldn't drink any further. Although your beast is hungry, and the beast is like, people die all the time. They die all the time here. They just think he's, maybe he just OD'd or something. You could deal with this whole. You could finish him off. You wouldn't be hungry anymore.
Internally, he's just like, I am not making another mess for someone to clean up tonight.
You don't have to clean it up. You don't live here.
I do for now. I kind of gotta make friends, play nice.
Yeah. You are no fun.
Yeah, I know. Regular party pooper.
And you find your hunger is reduced now. That will put you at 2. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you're at 2 hunger now. Which at this point is not, it's the kind of hunger where, okay, I can live with this. The beast becomes a little less volatile and savage, and then you emerge. You leave your new friend sort of in a dreamy kind of fog, sitting on the toilet as you step out. And
Also, I do have the high functioning addict advantage, and he had just recently smoked, right?
yeah, he had.
So does that count?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, no, Javier's in a much better mood now.
Yeah.
He is mellowed. He got his nicotine fix. He's better now.
So as you step out back into the bar, where past Victoria, who's sort of guarding the door, a guy sort of over by the other door in a Fitzroy Lions jersey says, it's the guy that fucking shit all over the bathroom. Look where you're going next time, mate. Idiot. And if
Is Victoria openly laughing?
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, she would be.
do me a favor, at a difficulty of 1, can you do me a rage frenzy check, Javier?
Oh boy.
Well,
Oh
you can do
boy.
it.
Actually, no,
Hold
difficulty
it
of 2,
back.
sorry. Difficulty of 2, not 1. You can't have 1.
Difficulty of 2.
Nice.
Is that
Good
not-
boy.
Okay, so
That's
succeeded.
one
Great.
success.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, you the beast kind of stirs uncomfortably but doesn't speak up. Just like, yeah. That irritated you, but you're okay. But
Yeah.
you
No,
feel like
he's
maybe
just
you wanna
going
get-
to give. Yeah, no, he maybe wants to make this guy piss himself now.
Victoria, what do you...
Because he has been humiliated so much tonight already. He is losing his patience, and he was just starting to feel better.
Yeah.
Still
Victoria,
wearing
So,
the pink
yeah.
shirt.
I think,
It's under a leather jacket.
I like
so.
to think
Okay.
that, I like to think that the bottom part of it and the collar kind of stick out through the jacket, but you can't see the ensemble. But that's just me.
Little pop of color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
no, he would have popped the collar. But no, yeah, might I intimidate the absolute shit out of this dude and make him piss himself?
Well, I'm going to give Victoria a chance to intervene. Victoria would like to intervene, but it's up to you. Can do it. Absolutely can do it if Victoria doesn't want to stop you. But I'll give Victoria the opportunity.
Yeah, Victoria would try and wave him down and be like, "Look, man, it's not worth it. Trust me. You had your fill. I also need to get a quick bite. So, deep breaths."
He does, in fact, just take a deep breath and let it out through his nose.
There we go. There's a good
then-
boy.
And then it's just like, well, how about that fuckhead over there?
Oh, don't worry. I'll deal with him.
So I'm going to say, rather than do the roll for that, I'm going to say we fade out there. Victoria, you get your sip from.
Get me a little sip.
Yeah, you get your little sip.
Hell yeah.
So you get your sip, and we fade back to Astrid and Archie at the apartment. Maybe the television's on, but it's like it's the early '80s, so it's just a test pattern because there's nothing to
Yeah.
watch just yet. But Archie, you remember that like eventually like morning children's programming will start. So you don't know exactly when because you just sort of. You sleep through it now. But back when you were
Yeah.
alive, it sort of you knew that it started at some point around now.
Sucks that we can't watch He-Man.
Yeah, it doesn't exist yet.
Oh, I don't know when He-Man came out. That was just the earliest cartoon I could think of. I'm playing with Ratview, and without looking at Astrid, I say, Astrid, do you think Victoria will be mad if I ate a cat?
I mean, wait, where would the cat be coming from? Is there
I
a
don't
cat
know,
here?
It's like a hotel. There might be a cat somewhere. I'm just kind of hungry. Kind of feel like cat.
I mean, yes, but maybe ask the cat if it's like someone's pet first, because like
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't like doing that because then it makes me feel things, and I kind of have to eat.
Oh shit, you're right. Hey, on that note, Archie, can I ask you something? You just be completely honest with me.
Of course.
Am I a bad vampire?
No.
Because like I feel like I'm a bad vampire.
How can you be a bad vampire?
I don't
mean-
know.
Like, I don't kill people.
Right.
Am I a bad vampire?
No, but you look like you know what you're doing. I'm just
Archie tries to decide how to respond to that because the answer is no, he doesn't know what he's doing. I have friends that teach me things.
I don't know.
And I'll be
This
your
week-
friend that teaches you things. I'm still playing with RapView and not looking.
Thanks, Archie. It's just, I don't know. It's just been a week, and I can't really imagine the rest of time being like this.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. But
Yeah,
Star Wars comes out next year. We can go see that.
I mean, I haven't seen the first one, but yeah, sure, I'll watch it with you.
Archie drops RapView in shock. We need to go to
I
a
just,
video store. Do they exist in the 80s? I
I'm
assume so.
I mean, I'm not sure we're in. When does home video in Australia? When is that? What's the history of that?
I'm
It's
sure
the
if you
history of
can't find it,
Blockbuster.
you could find it on Betamax.
Yeah.
Looking up the history of home video real quick.
Victoria's bougie. She probably has a Betamax player.
Well, it says as early as 1906, but I don't think we're going back that far.
No. Blockbuster was founded in 1985, apparently.
Damn.
Okay. During the 1980s, video distributors gradually realized that many customers did want to build their own video libraries and not just rent. Okay, so yeah, I think you could probably rent like a Betamax. Yeah, it's possible. I'd say you could probably get a Betamax copy of it.
You haven't. Archie looks very distressed at this.
oh no. Is this like one of those like vampire things? Is this code?
No, I just no. It's fine. We'll get a video. Oh, Betamax. It'll be okay. I go back. I pick up RapView, pat him on the head, like whisper an apology for dropping him, and go back to playing with him.
Now I have to
but I
wonder if
mean-
Astrid even knows what he's cosplaying as.
Nope. She thinks that's what he looks like.
Just a weird hairy man.
He's a really hairy guy.
You think that Archie's just been walking around nude this entire time?
Yeah.
Well, he
she
did go and
knows.
shower with it, so like now he's a soggy Chewbacca.
Oh yeah. By the way, I am laying on the couch.
Oh wait, yeah.
Aw.
If he did shower, first, if he did shower in the costume, only adding to her theory that that's what he looks like. She would have first found some towels, laid them on the couch for him, so she's not like laying directly on the couch. And like as they're having this conversation, she's probably also cleaning the tub.
That tub is not coming clean anytime soon. Like that's gonna
I'm
be
sure-
nights of work.
My deposit.
I'm trying. I'm trying so hard.
But yeah, I don't think you're a bad vampire.
Thanks,
I
Archie.
think you're a new vampire.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think I'm like cool like the rest of y'all. I mean, you can turn
You think I'm
invisible. Yeah, you turn invisible, man.
I do.
And like, and then Javier was like, how about we calm down? I'm like, that was cool.
It was.
And I mean, like, Victoria
like
just
Javier.
oozes. I'm like, Victoria's just like made of coolness. I'm just
You'll
here.
learn how to be cool like me.
Thanks, Archie.
I
I'm
should-
feeling
I should
better
be like-
already.
I should have been like, I don't remember saying you were cool.
Hey, he could turn invisible. He talks to animals.
Okay, so as
Are you hungry? Oh, sorry.
no, keep going. If you got more.
I was just gonna ask her if she's hungry.
No. I haven't really felt like. I mean, I was hungry that one night, and then we went hunting, and like that didn't turn out super great. And then like I went to. I forget who did she actually talk to, like for her contact, so she can actually feed. Because I'm imagining she's at least had to feed at least once.
A phlebotomist at a blood pathology and like donating. Clinic.
Yeah, I had to go in. I talked to one of my old, colleagues. I wouldn't call him a friend exactly, but I got some blood, and so I've been all right.
Okay,
Being hungry all the time sucks, but
it
you know,
does.
you know.
Anyway, I think I'm gonna go find a cat. I'll
Okay.
be back soon.
Oh, okay. I'll be here.
So I want to start a new scene now. Javier and Victoria returning. They've parked the car. They're returning to the apartment building, and I'm going to say Archie's sort of out front of the apartment building, like
Yeah.
doing like that click there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you see him like walking around outside like that.
I'm using rat fuel as
Yeah.
bait.
Yeah.
He's holding by the tail.
So, yeah, that's what you see as you approach the apartment building.
Rat fuel's used to
Oh,
it.
what the fuck?
I
Oh,
just
hi
have
guys.
to be the way that he is. Hi, Archie. What are you
Looking for
doing
a-
outside the
I'm
house?
looking for a cat.
Cat.
I'm hungry.
A cat? Like a
I
pet.
felt like some cats are pets.
Some cats are pets. And this is
Some
an
aren't.
apartment block.
I shrug.
Okay.
Here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna give you some space. Animals don't really like me much.
Yes.
Oh,
they do.
Matthew likes you.
Rathy's a special case, Archie, and you do know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, he's a very
Yeah.
special
He
rat.
does?
He,
Would
Yeah, he
tell
slept
you
on
that? He what?
unfortunately, this is falling apart very quickly, fellas. If we could just not.
Yeah, there is an unsightly glowing on the horizon as you talk about
Oh.
this.
Oh, my eyes go a little bit
And
wide and I
It's
scurry
not,
back
and
inside.
it's also not a case of like, oh, I need to get inside. You guys feel yourself slowing down. Your bodies are, with the exception of Astrid, your bodies have a real difficult time even working during the day. Like, and as the day approaches, you feel the blood sort of thicken, and you become more sluggish. Your limbs feel heavier. You know, your senses begin to dull. You just feel like you're losing whatever like spark drives you during the evening.
You know what? We'll find you a cat tomorrow.
Yeah.
And he just like takes him by the shoulders and starts pushing him forward.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired.
His Chewbacca costume is squishy and grubby under your hands.
I cannot possibly give any more fucks.
The dirty like grey water squishes through your fingers and runs down into the sleeves of your leather jacket.
Whatever, the pink jacket will stop it. Also, how does it run down? Archie's like a foot shorter than me.
Yeah, but if you put your hands like back up, they would. I don't know.
Mm.
It's
So I was like,
Magic water.
Aren't
It's
my hands
Nosferatu
down?
water. It goes wherever.
It's
Seeing
basically
water.
sentient at this point.
Yeah. It's a vampire all on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he keeps going. He doesn't even just
So,
keep going.
You all find yourselves back in Victoria's apartment. The curtains are closed, but even though the curtains are closed, you can feel the baleful eye of the sun sort of emerging on the horizon, and except for the exception of Astrid, it's becoming harder and harder to stay awake. Like, you all certainly feel it, Astrid, but you don't.
Oh.
It requires less, like, push for you to sort of keep moving.
I'm at 8 humanity as well.
I thought Astrid.
No,
I'm at
Astrid's
9.
9.
Oh, it's Astrid 9. I thought it was 8.
So yeah, you're feeling it. Now, obviously, Javier and Victoria are feeling it the most.
Mm-hmm. Javier's just like, can I just sleep like against your door so that way nobody gets in? And he kind of lowers his voice. I don't entirely trust them not to pull down the curtains or something.
You know what? That's not a bad idea.
Just imagine
Go right ahead.
Archie being so
Oh, yeah.
ridiculous that he immolates himself at the sun.
At this
Well, also
point,
there's Rathu to worry about, and so yeah, Javier is just going to park himself on the other side, like on the inside of Victoria's bedroom door, against it with his back.
And as Javier parks himself there, he feels the life kind of drain out of him, and in that moment, Javier is basically just a corpse, a perfectly preserved corpse, pressed up against the door.
He's a pretty corpse this time, instead of,
And even now, the gaping hole in his chest begins to knit itself together as his body begins
Just
to
forces
rise.
out the
Yeah.
the washcloth.
Yeah, well, that's basically what happens. It just forces out the washcloth inside his shirt as his body begins to like return itself to the state it was in when he first became undead. I'm assuming Victoria lays down and goes straight to sleep.
Yeah, it's been a long day. Suit and all.
Just in the suit. And back in the lounge room or in the bathroom, Archie lies down in the tub with his ring of filth that he created. Maybe Rathu sits on his stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you feel the sunlight. Like you feel it without feeling it, if that makes sense. And it kind of pushes you down into the dark, dreamless sleep. Astrid, I'm assuming, on the couch. You don't really feel, you could sleep, but you don't feel the need just yet. And, hang on, I just need to check something about you, Astrid.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's nothing terrible.
I'm never worried.
It
That's
is
all I'm
never
worried.
a concern when the storyteller goes, I just need to check something.
As you're sort of getting ready to sleep, you close your eyes and something, like you see something like in your mind's eye, like tinged with blood, and it's a what looks to be a like someone's face, but it's beaten like to a pulp, almost beyond recognition. And sort of you open your eyes again, but then once they close, the vision returns, and and then you realize that it's actually, you're looking like down at them, like almost like you're standing over them. But when you can see, what you see of your body is not your own body. And when you turn your attention to the mirror, you see a face. It's not familiar to you, but it feels like it should be. It is a bald man, not the bald man you met tonight, but a different one. He has what look to be unpleasant diagrams and symbols carved into his flesh. And when he looks up, he sees his reflection in like a half-broken mirror. And he looks down at the broken man at his feet. And then you are asleep. And that's the end of this session, everybody.
Well,
Yeah, I didn't eat a guy. I just
Didn't.
ate 50 rats.
Yeah. 50 rats and half a guy.
Half a guy.
We're like a fifth of a guy. Like
a fifth of a guy.
a fifth of a guy. If I'm
Just a
not
fifth of a
mistaken, I
guy.
believe that 10 pints is about how much blood somebody has, and 1 pint is 1 point.
Victoria,
He just did a double donation. That's fine.
and Victoria ate the adulterous Fitzroy Lions fan.
Yes. Good.
Left a bad taste in the mouth.
Yeah, he didn't taste right, but he checked the boxes that allowed you to drink from him. So I think you're back at Hunger 1, Victoria.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. And Javier and Archie are too, because Archie didn't get a chance to eat the cat he was looking for.
No. I
Did
didn't get to find
Victoria
a
at least
cat.
do something that like later on was gonna embarrass this fucker later? Like, get him like, fucking dumped?
I assume she probably, at the very least, left him in a very compromising position out back for when he
Yes,
wakes up.
Good. Then it was Javier's turn to laugh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well,
You know what? Actually, I still had the note on me that says now we're even, right?
yes.
Yeah.
I'm leaving that on him.
Yeah.
I'm just turning Craig off real quick.
Just gonna be passed around. This note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually comes
Goes to
back.
this guy. It's gonna come back at the end of our campaign.
I hope everybody had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, as always.
The combat was a little bit janky, but I think it was fun what we managed to do with it.
I didn't
Yeah,
even
so I
notice.
hope
I
you
had
believe me.
fun.
I hope you believe me sincerely when oh sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just like I didn't notice the thing. I had fun with it. For my first combat in Vampire, I found it enjoyable.
Yeah, Sam.
Yeah, it's kind of meant to be glossed over. You're not really meant to dwell on it for too long. It's generally like either one roll to determine how the fight goes, or 3 rolls and out. So that's kind of what I went for. I just tried to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just tried to sort of have it resolve itself. But yeah, that was good. That was a lot of fun. I think next week we'll have Fenice back, which will mean we'll finally be able to meet the 5th member of our coterie.
Nice.
Yeah, and that'll be good.
Also, I hope you sincerely believe me when I say it was incredibly fun watching Javier get humiliated the entire night.
It is very rewarding to see it happen.
Yes. He deserved it, every bit of it. Maybe not in this world, but he deserved it.
Yeah.
I really did like the bit where Astra was like, it was really cool when Javier did that, we're gonna talk thing, and I wanted to say, like, didn't work.
Yeah, you mean like the part where I tried to de-escalate the situation and did the opposite?
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty rad.
But you sounded cool. That was what matters. You sounded cool. It doesn't matter that it failed. It fucking failed. What matters is that you sounded cool and you looked cool doing it.
That's the other thing. I didn't get a scratch on me.
No, you didn't. You dodged. You used your celerity. No, I don't think anybody got injured except for the fucking guy, the NPC.
Yeah.
No.
The risk was calculated, and it worked out for me. Because I was like, oh, if I use this second dot of celerity, I could maybe not get fucked up and have to worry about trying to heal myself with all this hunger.
Yeah, at first I was like, oh, I should probably dodge this kick. And then I was like, no, I'm really strong. And I'm like, Astrid's figuring out that she's really strong. So she's like, I'm just going to tank it. I'm just going to shove him.
I jammed a switchblade into someone's throat.
No.
That actually
Hey, we made him run away.
That caused some aggro damage, so if you see him again, he might still have that injury.
Oh yeah, no, he ain't gonna be able to talk anymore.
He might become a recurring villain, who knows?
Oh. Seems unlikely if you ask me.
Bring it.
Be
Bring it,
honest.
I'll finish the job.
Unless Dan comes back and then, all
Yeah.
bets are off.
Yeah, no.
All right, well, let's do a quick raid then. I'm gonna raid Barjo because I like Barjo. Yeah, so that was fun. We'll be back here at the same time next week.
Yeah, it sounds like that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Also, if you're not on the Discord yet, I think this is the command. Join it, because that's where I organize the games and stuff for this. I'm doing a few. I want to do a few. I'm doing one at the moment. This one. Obviously, I want to arrange it. I want to arrange some more. Maybe set in the same universe, or maybe just sort of peripheral. I've got some ideas. One idea is doing something with Changeling, set in the 60s in a surfing community, which I think would be kind of fun. And some other stuff. So yeah, if people are interested, do pop in there and sort of let me know, and then I can sort of get stuff going. I know the time zones are hard for everybody, but if you have an Australian time zone, then that's a lot easier. Okay, so I'm going to do the raid now. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming by. I might do some other streams on the weekend, but we'll see. And goodbye.
Yes.